Hello and welcome to the second video in my basic Japanese series. In this video series, I'm going to be giving you one piece of Japanese knowledge each time that builds on what we've already done, but there's not so much extra detail that you get bogged down in everything and never move forward. So, today we are going to be looking at the first Hiragana, which is this one here. This one is pronounced A. Now, one thing to note, when we've got Hiragana, which is our Japanese writing system, it works a little differently to the letters that I'm familiar with from English. Now in English, and I'm sure it's similar to some other languages around the world, a letter doesn't just have one reading. If we take the letter A, for example, that we have in English, sure, I mean sometimes it's pronounced A in a word like cake, or it could be A, or it could be A, or sometimes it's O, and it depends on your accent as well, right? In my Australian accent, the words want, cat, bark, cake, they all use the letter A, but they all have it pronounced a different way. In Japanese, you actually don't have to worry about that. There's a very, 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 very small amount of the time where a letter, or in this case, a character, doesn't make the sound that it should make, but for 99.999% of cases, if a character has a specific name, that is the name it's going to always have, and that is the way you're going to read it. And so it is with A. This is not the letter A. They are completely different things. Sometimes, when we represent Japanese in English, we use letters that are the best fit. And somebody some time ago decided that the letter A was the best fit for this character. And I tend to agree. But sometimes we can get trapped and start thinking of these Japanese characters as their English counterparts, which isn't the case at all. They are completely separate, but if we had to use an English letter to do an approximation of a Japanese character, A is a letter we would use. Now, once again, I'm going to bring in a common Japanese word, but you do not need to remember it now. But if you have spent some time in Japan and know a little bit of Japanese, you might be familiar with the word arigato, which means thank you. Now, this A is the first character in the word arigato. Now, you don't have to remember that. That word isn't going to matter right now. It will come into play later, but I just want you to know what that character is, what it sounds like, and to remember it for next time when we look at the next character. The way I remember this is I think of an antenna that's got a bit of loose curly wire. Now, in my head, I don't call it an antenna because I'm remembering the sound A and not A. So, I call it an antenna. And the antenna has become untied and this loose piece of wire is just hanging out. And someone maybe walks past, an electrician, and goes, I have to do something. Or you can make up your own story based on these series of lines and what it means to you. But I was taught that it was an antenna, and that's what I go with. Now, if you're interested, a little while back, I did a tier list of every single hiragana, including A. For some of them, I actually included a story, which was how I remembered them. If you'd like to watch that video, I'll leave a link to it in the description. So that was A, and that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Next time we're looking at another character and we're going to finally be able to start making a word or two in Japanese. It's going to be good. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. See you later.